Federal High Court sitting in Lagos State has sentenced a businessman, Aniogor Godswill Obiajulu, to 5 years imprisonment for refusing to accept Naira currency as a legal tender in exchange for the sales of Diamond Bracelet, demanding the company customers to pay in dollars, and the court in its ruling on Thursday, ordered the Diamond Bracelet worth over $10,000 to be forfeited to the federal government. This, on the same vein, another federal high court in Ikoyi had on Tuesday sentenced a diamond businessman, Uzondu Precious Chimaobi, to 4 years imprisonment for also refusing to accept Naira as means of payment from his customers, and the court in Ikoyi also ordered the Cartier Diamond Wristwatch worth over $5,700 to be forfeited to the federal government. Details of the news reports as presented by the Public Relations Unit of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, reads verbatim below. Lagos court jails businessman, company for refusal to accept Naira as legal tender. Justice Akintayo Aluko of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, on Thursday, April 17, 2025 convicted and sentenced a businessman, Aniogor Godswill Obiajulu, and his company, ICW, to 5 years imprisonment for their refusal to accept the Naira as a legal tender. Obiajulu, alongside ICW, was arraigned on Thursday on a 2-count charge bordering on refusal to accept the Naira as a legal tender. Count 1 reads, that ICW and Aniogor Godswill Obiajulu, on the 10th day of December, 2024 in Lagos, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, refused to accept Naira, Nigeria's legal tender, by accepting the sum of $10,000, as a means of payment for the purchase of 1 diamond clover bracelet, and thereby committed an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 21 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act, 2007. Count 2 reads, that ICW and Aniogor Godswill Obiajulu, on the 10th day of December, 2024 in Lagos, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, directly retained the total sum of $10,000, which sum you reasonably ought to have known forms part of the proceeds of your unlawful activity, to wit, pricing and accepting USD as a means of payment for goods and services, and thereby committed an offense contrary to Section 18(2)(d) of the Money Laundering, Prevention and Prohibition Act, 2022, and punishable under Section 18(3) of the same act. He pleaded guilty to the charges when they were read to him. In view of his plea, prosecution counsel, C.C. Ikoyi, tendered, in evidence, the payment receipt of the bracelet dated December 10, 2024, the defendant's statement dated December 27, 2024, and the diamond bracelet. Ikoyi also urged the court to convict the defendant as charged. Delivering judgment, Justice Aluko found the first and second defendants guilty and sentenced them to 6 months imprisonment each, with an option of fine in the sum of 50,000 naira, on count 1. The judge sentenced the second defendant to 4 years imprisonment, with an option of fine in the sum of 1 million naira, on count 2. Also, the judge pronounced a fine of 1,000 nairas, 1 million naira, on the first defendant on count 2. The diamond clover bracelet was ordered forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. The 2 convicts bagged their imprisonment for pricing and accepting United States dollars as a means of payment for goods and services contrary to the Money Laundering Act. Court jails man 4 years for refusal to accept Naira as legal tender. Justice Alexander Owoyi of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, on Tuesday, April 15, 2025, convicted and sentenced one Uzondu Precious Chimaobi to 4 years imprisonment for his refusal to accept the Naira as a legal tender. Chimaobi was arraigned by the Lagos Zonal Directorate 1 of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, Lagos, on February 5, 2025 on a 2-count charge bordering on refusal to accept the Naira as a legal tender. One of the counts reads, that Precious Chimaobi Uzondu, on the 10th of December 2024, in Lagos, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, refused to accept Naira, Nigeria legal tender, by accepting the sum of $5,700, 5,700 USD, as a means of payment for a purchase of a Cartier Diamond Bracelet with serial number 12,345,678, and thereby committed an offense contrary to Section 20 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act, 2007. He initially pleaded not guilty to the charge, leading to his full trial. Subsequently, the prosecution presented its first witness, PW1, Owolabi Oyereku Jude, an operative of the EFCC. Led in evidence by the prosecution counsel, HU Kofaneza, Jude told the court that the commission received intelligence on the activities of a jewelry company called Unlimited Jewelers Limited, whose owner is one Uzondu Precious Chimaobi. The company, which deals in jewelry at Atlantic Mall, Chevron Drive, Lekki, Lagos, intentionally tags and sells its products in dollars as against the CBN Act, 2007, which stipulates Naira as the only legal tender in Nigeria. Continuing, he added that, subsequently, a covert operation was carried out, where an undercover operative of the commission disguised as a customer to purchase a diamond nail bracelet that was tagged $6,000 and bought it for $5,700. The company refused to receive Naira and demanded dollars as a means of payment. The payment was made and receipt was issued in dollars. The owner of the company was arrested and taken to the commission's office. However, at the resumed sitting on April 14, 2025, the defendant opted to change his not guilty plea to guilty. Consequent upon his guilty plea, Kofaneza prayed the court to rely on the evidence earlier given by the investigating officer, and admit the same in convicting the defendant. Kofaneza, thereafter, tendered the defendant's statement and other evidence to further prove his guilt, and they were admitted by the court. Justice Owoi then adjourned till Tuesday, April 15, 2025 for ruling. Delivering judgment, they found the defendant guilty and gave him an option of fine of 50,000 Nairas, 50,000 Naira, on count 1. The judge sentenced him to 4 years imprisonment, with an option of fine in the sum of 600,000 Nairas on count 2. His Cartier Diamond Wristwatch was ordered forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. The convict bagged his imprisonment when he refused to accept Naira by accepting the sum of $5,700, 5,700 USD, as a means of payment for a purchase of a Cartier Diamond Bracelet. He was charged to court and convicted.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.